Hi, welcome to You, Me and Mediumship. This evening I'm going to answer a question that was asked the other evening about the length of time somebody can be sat in the power before any connection with spirit world actually takes place. And obviously it's quite an in-depth answer, really. So although in the comments I did briefly answer that, I thought it'd be best to do a video so I can go into a bit more depth really about the length of time. Now obviously there are many different factors that will relate to when connection is made. Obviously we all have a natural connection anyway. There is spirit all around us. We are connected in a sense, although it be subconsciously. We all get those gut feelings, we all sense things. So there is a kind of connection there already. But if we're talking about maybe connection with your guide, your helpers in the spirit world through sitting in the power, then obviously it varies vastly. There's, like I said, a lot of factors involved with the amount of time it actually takes. And also, as mentioned in the comment, there are natural mediums that naturally have that ability to be able to connect anyway. The thing with natural mediumship, those that are born with that ability to connect, is that sitting in the power is still very important, because you can build on that connection. You can make that connection even stronger. Your evidence will be even clearer. And so it makes sense for someone who has that natural ability to be able to sit in the power and enhance what they already have. So, if you feel you're a natural medium, and, some mediums might think, well, I naturally connect, sorry, I don't need to sit in the power, then, that's sad in a way, because, really you can enhance that ability that you already have. Just build on that connection, and obviously the evidence, the messages you get, the vision you get, the clairaudience that you get will be even better. So it's well worth still practicing sitting in the power. For somebody who has maybe an interest or is drawn to mediumship and feels it's something that they'd like to enhance within themselves, then I think it was mentioned in the question, can this take years? Well, yes, it can take years. But, there's, like I said, there's a lot of factors involved in this. One is intent. That basically is what your intentions are, what you intend to use this ability for. Is it simply, to make a few pounds, or, is it to be able to give people the closure? Is it just for self-satisfaction in a way, for you, just for self? There are lots and lots of different things that we can link with the intent. And I think the majority of people who sit for spirit do it with the intent of helping others, and for myself, that intent is to light that spark within somebody, so they search within themselves for spirit, if you like, for that love, for that ability to be able to help others in a loving and caring way, to give closure. Losing somebody close is, it is a horrible situation to be in a sense, because it just takes you over, and it's difficult to be able to carry on in everyday life, and everything you see or hear always reminds you of that loved one that you've lost, and it's difficult to go on sometimes. We get through it, we never ever completely forget, and we always grieve. We're always grieving in a sense. It gets easier to live with, but you never forget, obviously. So if we can help somebody along that journey, if we can light that spark within somebody else, then, if just so they question things more, and they become more aware, if you like, that life does go on and you are answerable, to your actions without any doubt. If somebody can, if you light that spark in somebody and it changes the way they live their lives, then, it's a fantastic thing to have done, and it'll only make the world a better place. That's how I see it. So yes, it can take years of sitting in the power before that connection is made. It's a gradual process. But like I also said in the comment, there's an awful lot to be said, for the saying that when the student is ready, the master will come. And that is very true, because there are elements that spirit will take into account. One will be, can you deal with disability? That is one of them. Are you a person that would be able to deal with it? Are you mentally stable enough to be able to deal with this? Can you live your life with this ability? There are things maybe going on in your own personal life that will affect the way you work, and that does affect the way you work. So really, in a sense, your life needs to be kind of settled down and at peace. And the more at peace you are within, then obviously the better those connections are with the spirit world. And so, there are timings in place for when the master will call. They are well aware of what's going on in your own life, and it's got to be right for you as well as for them, for that connection to be made. Another thing we can also take into account, I guess, with the timing of this, is the dedication towards it. Now, if you sit once a month for 10 minutes and wonder why nothing's happening, then, well, there you go. So, there is an element of dedication as well. You need to be dedicated to what you do, because obviously the more dedicated you are, the more effort you put into this, then the more you'll get out of it. And the sooner that connection becomes clearer, it works a lot faster. So, yes, it can take years, but, the more sitting in that power that you do, then, the better and the quicker things will start to happen for you. So, unfortunately, it can take years, but if you're dedicated enough, that doesn't matter. Because, even within the first week or two of sitting in that power, you will feel better within yourself anyway. You will start to be able to relax better, sleep better, forget about your job better. That's what I like to do sometimes. So, you can push that away and be more yourself and not let the world take over, if you like, because obviously, work can be very, very busy for you, and, it's on your mind all the time. So it's nice to be able to sit in that power, expand your own energy, and just be free, basically, of everyday niggles, I guess, is one description. But it does do you the world of good. Physically as well, it will do you the world of good. Mentally, it will do you the world of good. So it's not all about making that connection. It's about that peace of mind as well, as you expand your own inner self. So, there's lots of pluses, before that actual connection is made. It was also asked as well, how do you know? Well, you will know simply because you will hear, you will sense somebody there, you will see, within your mind's eye, you will see this energy, in front of you. You may even hear that whisper. There is a knowing that it's not within your own mind, you're not daydreaming or anything. You will know, because the feeling and that sense you get, that glow within yourself, that love and that peace within, you will know that connection has been made. It's not always as clear in the beginning as it will be later on, but that is why you're sitting in that power. You are sitting there, obviously, to try and enhance what you are sensing around you. It's, one of the questions that gets asked an awful lot is, how do I know that what I'm hearing or seeing is just not in my own mind, in my own head? Once that connection is made, there will be no doubt, okay? You will know simply by how you feel inside. That glow, that wonderful warmth, that energy from spirit. It's very difficult to explain. I think maybe a lot of mediums would find it quite difficult to explain exactly how that feels. And I have mentioned it before. Again, another saying is that it's the love that took my breath away. That is as close as I can probably get to how it feels when that connection is made. It does literally take your breath away. It is something else. It really is. It's a wonderful, wonderful energy to be merging with. And it does change your life. It does make things a lot different for you. Your outlook on life is a lot different. And I know it's, again, that dedication is important. That intent is important. Lots of different factors there. And like I said, you will know when you make that connection. That warmth and that love that comes from the world of spirit, it really is something else. And it's difficult, when you make that connection, when you sense that soul next to you merging with you, it's easy just to lose that connection, because I guess it's like an element of surprise. And early on, when you're doing readings, when you get that energy draw close to you and you get that piece of information in and you give that evidence to the sitter, and sometimes their reaction, if you're not careful, especially when you haven't done many readings, their reaction can pull you away from the connection, especially, if they sit there laughing out loud and think, you've got to be strong enough and have that ability to be able to hold on to that connection no matter what's going on around you. And obviously in demonstrations, if you're used to sitting on your own and receiving information in deadly silence, if you like, pardon the pun, but in that deadly silence, and then all of a sudden you're doing a demonstration, and I think a lot of mediums will probably back me up on this one, the majority of people all seem to come to either a church or a demonstration with a cough, for some unknown reason. So you've got noise going on, you've got that background noise of people coughing, even people talking, ordering at the bar sometimes, laughing, giggling, all sorts of things going on around you. Holding on to that connection is another element of mediumship that you need to learn, is holding it. Okay, so holding on to that connection whilst all around you could be chaos sometimes. So, that's something else you need to, it will come obviously with experience. So don't be put off by the fact that, I'm sitting there saying it's going to take years. Please, if you're dedicating enough and you want to be able to practice mediumship in a genuine way, in a true way, from the heart, if you like, if you want to do it properly, and unfortunately, the minute somebody starts to receive information, they're out there working, they've not worked with, they're not enhanced it enough truly to be able to hold the connection properly and to work purely as a medium, not as a psychic. And again, that's another thing you need to learn. Okay, you must not read psychically. You work purely with spirit energy. Okay, don't work with the energy of the person. And that was also asked the other night as well. Where that question went, I've got absolutely no idea. I went to answer it and couldn't find it. It may have been taken off, or maybe the questioner took it off for some reason. I don't know. But an interesting point was made, and that is, how do you know that you're not getting the information about the person who has passed from the sitter? Now, the best information and evidence that you can give in a reading is evidence that the sitter has to go and find out. If you can go and give that piece of information and they're not sure about what you've said, and they need to go and ask someone within the family unit or whatever, friends, whatever, if they need to go and ask that and it comes back as being true and accurate, then that's the best piece of information you could give. Because there's absolutely no way that information could have come from them. You didn't psychically pick that information up. So there's one bit of evidence there that mediumship is true. It's not psychically read from the sitter. You're not picking it up from their energy. And once you start to work and you've done a number of readings and you've got the personality of the energy within yourself, when you can feel that energy of that loved one that's passed within yourself, when you give phrases the way they would give a phrase, and even sometimes your mannerisms, and this happens, believe me, your mannerisms can sometimes be exactly as the past energy would act, would their mannerisms in life. So when that personality is that close and within you and blended with you to that kind of degree, now you know that you are not receiving that information from the sitter. That energy is within you. So that's proof that you're not getting the information from the sitter. When I was probably 9-10 years old, and one of my first experience with spirit was a manifestation in front of me when, like I said, I think about 8 or 9, I can't remember exact age, on the stairs of my home, and the energy manifested in front of me, and this young lad stood there. Now, for me, that is enough evidence that spirit exists. Okay, because there's no sitter, there's no one else there. It was purely my experience. So, I know that spirit energy exists because I've seen it myself, and under a number of occasions I've seen different things in front of me that I know for sure is spirit energy, and that's without anybody else always being there. Other people have been there before in the past. We had 4 or 5 people seeing the exact manifestation as I saw in front of me, and it was unbelievable, absolutely fantastic. We all saw the same thing, and very, very clearly as well. So it wasn't like a shadow walked past or anything like that. It was a figure of a man stood there in front of us. All 4 or 5 of us, can't remember how many. That includes a skeptic as well who saw it. So you learn over the years, you absorb the fact that without any doubt at all, there is life after death. We don't need the evidence as mediums. We know that it exists. We have no doubt of that. So when you're given a reading, you know within yourself from past experience that the information you are getting is not from the sitter, it's from spirit, because of past experiences that you have had. You have seen that spirit, you have heard spirit plain and clear, and some of the phases and some of the statements that I've heard, have been absolutely amazing, and I feel very privileged to have experienced those, because that puts no doubt in my mind whatsoever. And that's how I know I'm not getting it from the sitter. I know it's from spirit. I've seen them, I've heard them, I've sat in circles where I experienced different phenomena, and it's just a normal thing for me in a sense. I don't go around talking about spirit all day, although I would love to. So I guess YouTube helps me with that a bit, so get it out of my system. But no, so there's some answers there to a couple of questions that were raised. And like I said, please don't be put off by the number of years. Dedicate yourself to it, work hard with it, have the right intent, the right reason behind doing what you want to do. Okay, none of us want to be famous. We just want to get that evidence out there. We want to prove that life goes on. We want to change people's lives in a sense where, well, it would change the world, wouldn't it? If everybody was aware that life after death is very, very real, and that we will answer for all our actions here within this realm, then maybe things would be different. Obviously that won't happen in my lifetime, that's for sure, but I can help a bit you know, and I can help closure as well and put people's mind at rest about their loved ones that they've lost. So, you know, I'm happy doing that. I enjoy doing that. It's a wonderful, wonderful feeling to see somebody smile at the end of a reading and say thank you. It's absolutely amazing. You know, I have a job to do. I enjoy it, and I'm sure you will too. So that's it for tonight anyway. Thanks for listening. Please like and subscribe, because it will help me keep going, I guess. And also look me up on Patreon, Yumi Mediumship. If you're interested in mediumship and you'd like to know a bit more, I go into a lot more depth on there. I've only got a few videos, but like I said, you know, I'm adding to that every week to build that up, and just to help people along their journey of working with their mediumship. So thanks for your time. It's been a great talking to you all, and take care and bye for now.